Hey everybody, it's Karen. How are you? Happy Saturday. I pulled over. It's a rainy day here in Palm Springs, and I pulled over real quick because it's starting to get dark out already, and I want to make sure I get this video in. I definitely want to talk to some of you. I've got a lot of things I've got to catch up on, and it's easier for me to do these vlogs than to try to sit and type out my responses, and I think it's beneficial for everyone to hear it at the same time. Okay, so the one thing, the last vlog that I did that was talking about codependency and how it is when you start working on your codependency, it really rattled a lot of people's cages. I mean, a lot of people, not in a bad way, in a good way. I think people realize that this is, it's not so easy. Codependency is not so easy. It is a tough deal. It's not so much to read a couple memes and do a little meditation book that says, kumbaya in the morning. This is hard, When you love somebody, you really love somebody so much, and you know that nothing you are doing is helping, and you're desperate to do anything, and it becomes painfully clear to you that you need to stop because you're getting sick and it's not helping them. In fact, it might be hurting them. To stop that kind of passion, I'll call it passion, love, is very difficult because you end up feeling like you have a big empty hole in your heart. You know what I mean? It's like, now what? First of all, I want to tell you that this is a great example for you as codependents. For any of you that know what I'm talking about, that big feeling, that hole, right, of whether you're breaking up with someone, it's a love addiction, that you've stopped, you've broken up, and you're desperate, and you're panicked, or if it's codependency, whatever it is. This will give you some compassion for the alcoholic and addict. Okay, so when an alcoholic and addict goes into rehab and they take away their drugs and their alcohol, they have that same feeling. It's a panic. It's a feeling like a big hole is left there. They don't know what to do. They don't know what they're supposed to be feeling. They feel empty. What am I supposed to do now? How am I ever going to be happy again? How am I going to get a job? How am I going to get off the street? Whatever it is, how am I going to get back with my wife, my husband? Will my parents ever forgive me, right? There's this big hole, this anxious hole, and it feels awful. Awful! And you have to drink and use again. This irritable, restless discontent. That's the way a lot of you are feeling right now that have quit enabling or dancing, as I like to call it. When you stop that dance with the codependent, boom, you stop, and you got this, right? What do I do now? That is the same thing. So if you can understand that your addiction, as much as you look at that alcoholic and addict and think, why don't they quit using? Why don't they stop? It's not so easy, is it? You are actually addicted to your loved one. You're actually addicted, and it's like switching addictions, because sometimes if you take your attention off of that loved one that's suffering, you'll just replace it with another loved one or someone at work, right? A neighbor. There's someone out there that needs your help, right? That's addiction. That is what you're suffering from. So you'll have this compassion. Now, just like if your loved one was in treatment and they were telling you, oh God, I feel horrible. This detox is horrible. I'm never going to be able to do this. I want to get loaded. I'm never going to be able to do this. You would say, oh yes, you can. This is going to get better. This is going to pass. You're going to find new things to do, and you're going to meet new friends, and you're going to get new hobbies, and everything's going to be fine. That's what you'd say to them. So that's what I'm saying to you. If you're codependent, first thing, codependency, I'm giving you the exact remedy, right? I'm giving you, if you go to the codependency boot camp, or you take any of my webinars that I do on codependency, I'm giving you hands-on tools and solutions to change your life. I don't have you go back into your history and find out what happened to you when you were a little girl that made you want to be codependent and pick these loser guys or girls. I don't do that, because to me, that you can go to a therapist or a psychoanalyst for this, and you can talk about it for years and years and years and years and years, and still, if you don't do anything different, it's not going to change. You're just going to know why, and it's usually blaming someone else. And the approach that I have with the 12-step program that I believe works is, let me see, I can't do anything about anybody else except for me, right? So I don't want to talk about them, my mother, my father, the boyfriend that broke up with me in high school, whatever. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about them. There's nothing I can do about them. I want to talk about me. What can I do today to change my life? What can I do today to feel better? I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need a higher power for this thing. I'm going to need some kind of spiritual help, just like the addict and alcoholic does. Prayer and action. So if you are at home and you are feeling that big whole gut of detox, because you're detoxing from this relationship that you have, and they won't do what you want, and you're afraid they're going to die, and there's nothing you can do about it, you're suffering, you're going to have to do something. I highly recommend going to an Al-Anon meeting. Be around people that have walked through what you've walked through. I highly recommend doing the 12 steps, seeking out some kind of help and support. I know that at first that makes it seem like it's getting worse, but it does get worse before it gets better. Just like for the alcoholic addict, they have to detox to get well. They have to, and it's hell. So there's always that darkest before the dawn thing going on. So you really have to decide what you want to do, and then you have to do it. You can lay in bed and read books and cry all you want. Take hot baths with candles and kumbaya, blah, blah, blah. But unless you do something different, nothing's going to change. Okay? And there's a lot of ways to do that. I'm constantly giving people ideas, and there's webinars and things you can sign up for that will explain to you what you can do to change your thinking, shift your perception, so you can deal with whatever is going on in your life without changing it. The only thing you can do is change your reaction. Okay? So I hope that helps you, and now you have a little compassion for the loved ones that you have that seem to not be able to get well. It's hard to change. Talk to you later. Bye.